Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here today with day 12 of the 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, as well as the prompt for Dottie About Flair, which today is polka dots. And here is the sketch, which you can tell makes it pretty easy to do polka dots. And this sketch is by Whitaker, and it's just got the one picture and some embellishments, and there's some mixed media here and down here. So there is that. And I decided that I wanted to use this because this was the perfect polka dot kind of paper, and it had some great colors in it. So I pulled this American Crafts, and this is thinner paper, as well as this stripe, which has the same, mostly the same colors. There's a little bit of a red here and more of a burgundy and a hot pink here, but I'm okay with that because this is just going to be most likely a smaller bit on the layout. I pulled out a white Paper Studio cardstock. So that is the predominant amount of my papers, other than maybe something to mat my picture, or not sure exactly, but this is pretty much the paper I'm going to use. I did bring a few things over to my table that I thought I might use from the Crafter Square. There's just a few different things. This little thing from these embellishments from Recollections. These are super cute, and these two colors are very close to the two colors of polka dots in this paper. I brought my Carpe Diem Beautiful stickers to my desk because there's some word phrases in here I thought I might use. Not positive, but it might go along with what I'm wanting to document. And then I have this set of thickers called Explorer. And I thought about using my title from here, but I think I've changed my mind. So I brought it over here just in case I wanted to use some of the little bits and pieces. And I want to finish my title off with this shiny silver from Sticko. I have this one Dottie About Flair. And of course, like I said, the prompt is polka dots. I thought, what better flair to use than a polka dot? And then for my mixed media, I think, and I may change my mind once I get started and get things laid out, but I think that this Wild Honey Distress Oxide from Tim Holtz is going to be the color I work with. It's very similar to this yellowy color. It's kind of a mustard color in this paper, and it's also in the stripe. So I thought this would be the perfect color to use. So we'll see if I change my mind, but I think I'm going to use maybe the packaging technique with this. So I guess you all want to see the picture. Maybe, I don't know. So this was just taken on Thursday, and this is my son. He is homesick, and he's fine now. So I had just picked him up from school and brought him home. And so this is the picture I'm going to document. I had a picture for this layout. I changed my mind about it a couple of times, decided to go ahead with this one. And so we're going to go for that. So I also pulled a couple of things. I've been a lot less themey with my scrapbooking lately, but I thought since he was homesick that I would use some of these maybe to tuck into some clusters. So, and this is from the Paper Studio. Nope, this is Stickabilities. Oh, Paper Studio, yep. And these are Miss Grossman's. So I've got a picture, lots of embellishments and some papers, my flair, my ink, and a sketch. So let's see how this goes. So the first thing that I wanted to do was go ahead and put the ink mixed media down on my paper. So I got an eyeball idea for where I wanted to put it, and I just took this Wild Honey and put it in different places on this is just a package from an old sticker sheet. And I didn't want to smush it completely because I'm going to do some distressing with some water. And so I really just want like little spots, and at least at the top. At the bottom, I'm going to do a little bit more smushing. And then when I'm done, I'm going to get out some, my little spritzer, my Tim Holtz spritzer, and I'm going to spray it. So I wanted to give it a little bit of a distressed look. So I dry it a little just with a paper towel by dabbing, and then I spray, not real generously, just a little bit of a spritz on both. And so then I just move it around so that it's going to give me a little bit more of a color and a little bit of a smear. And so the top, I dab a little bit harder and take up some of it so it's almost like 3 different shades of yellow. And I love the way it turned out. So then I get this polka dot paper, which is super cute. And I am going to cut that, not exactly to the length or the size of the sketch, but the general idea. And because it's on a tilt, I had to trim just a little bit on the ends so it would fit. And then I just take that little piece that's on the bottom and cut that. And I'm going to find a way to make that work in the top right corner. So, and then I've decided I'm going to mat my picture in this stripe paper, which has, like I said, very similar colors to the polka dots. So I'm just going to put that top piece over a little so that it covers the corner. Now don't panic. This bright green circle is not staying. It's just there for now. So when I first put this down here, I thought, oh my gosh, they're going to be watching this saying, I'm not watching this crazy lady. She's put this bright green circle and there's no green. There's teal. There's not even like any other shade of green. So I mat my picture on the striped paper and then on the black because I didn't want the stripe on top of the polka dot because they would just disappear into each other. So I wanted it to stand out and I matted it on black. And then I'm going to use my Scotch runner and attach the bottom triangle and then tuck that circle in. And then I attach the top triangle and trim off the excess. And then I'm going to find where I want my picture to go. And I don't want it centered in the circle. It's off to the left side and the sketch as well. And so I like that. So I get my picture taped down now. Please note, I am not taping it on top of that circle for a very good reason. So I made sure I was taping it down in at least 2 places so it wouldn't move, but on that triangle of polka dotted paper. So I pull out all of the embellishments and I just start adding some things. So the first thing I do is get these Miss Grossman's border strips because I don't have a banner like they have in the sketch that I really want. Like it's not a frou-frou girly, not that scallopy banners are girly, but I just didn't want that. I wanted something a little different. So I just crisscrossed these polka dot Miss Grossman's banners and cut off the excess. And then I get out the Crafter's Corners because these are 3D embellishments, so I want to get those down so I can work around them. And this is an hourglass. And I just felt like the time when you're sick seems to go by so slowly, kind of like when you're watching the sand fall in an hourglass. That was the thought process. So I also got those little recollections. They kind of look like clouds. They're super cute, and I'm going to have to make some of these because it's just a bunch of the same shape in different colors, like sewed together. And I think I can do that even if I do it with a stapler instead of sewing. They're really cute. So I take a piece of that striped paper, I mat it on the black because I know it's not going to stand out against that white polka dot paper or the white background. And I just take the very end of it and tape that down on the polka dot paper, not the green circle. That green circle is not attached to my page. So then I'm going to build a little cluster just right here in my hand to see how I like it. and it makes me happy. So I set it down up there at the top, and I'm going to attach that up at the top here in just a moment. But first I want to bring that same strip of polka dotted border and bring it to the top. So it's going to connect the top right with the bottom close to the middle, but really it's over towards the left. So then I put my little cluster on top of it. So I'm really happy with the way this is taking shape, and I get this Carpe Diem beautiful, it's like looks like it's for a planner because it's got a lot of to-dos and stuff. So I pull this little black circle out, says today, and then I flip through and I pull a couple other little things out. There's a little arrow or banner that I pull out right there, that black and white polka dot, and I tuck that down on the bottom left of the picture, just to kind of give that hourglass a bit of a shelf, something that it's kind of sitting on and not just kind of hanging out there in the middle of nowhere. And then I get a piece of black scrap that I cut off of that picture mat, and I use it to put these white word phrases that came out of the Carpe Diem book, because I want them to stand out. So then I put this little, it's like a little piece of paper with a heart on it, and it's outlined in black. I put it on a clear piece of acetate that used to have stickers on it, so that I can decide where I wanted it on the page without it actually being attached. And that was what I was doing just a minute ago. And that is now sitting over on top of the alphas on the left. And all those things are going to go on my layout, but I didn't know exactly where, and I couldn't tack them down just yet. So I am just building up my cluster and putting down the word phrases that I have matted on black. And the one on the very bottom says, look on the bright side. And then I tuck this one here in, says currently. And then I tuck one in up at the very top that says fun times. And that is totally sarcastic, because getting sick at school is not fun times. Maybe going home on a Thursday and not having to go back. So this is where I'm at now. I've got this ebony black Nuvo, and I am making little drops. Now this is the crystal drops, and I am just making little drops. I'm not measuring, I'm eyeballing, and I'm just following along with that green circle. And when I get right there to the top, I'm just going to eyeball and use my little thing there, because that's where I want to put that, is right there. So there's no point in putting a Nuvo drop there, which will cause it to come off the page. And then I also am putting that home down on the by the picture, on the right of the picture, and I don't want to put Nuvo under that, at least not completely, although I don't care if it's under it a little. I just didn't want to put too much. So then I pull out my green circle very carefully, and there's the circle. Now in this, see how excited I am? In this sketch, it's a full circle, as in like looks like a cutout circle that they have matted the picture under, or on top, under the picture. But I didn't want to do that, and I love how this turned out. Those Nuvo drops are fantastic. They settle just a little as they are drying. And so that's going to be my circle, and I really like this. So I put that UGG down there, and that came from a Crafter's Corner. And then this home also came from a Crafter's Corner, and it's got like a shiny silver. It's kind of a darker silver, but I'm okay with that. And then I put this little tag down. It's got the heart on it. And originally I thought I'd put the date there, but changed my mind because I want to put my Dottie About Flair there. So I'm going to get my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, and I'm going to put that down. And it's going to cover quite a bit of that. But the top left, the bottom left, and actually the bottom right corner are showing when it's done getting put where it belongs. And because I'm about to move it over just a smidge. And then I'm going to put this little, this is a one of the border strips from that same sheet, and it's the exact same pattern as the bigger ones I've used. It's just smaller. And I love that because it kind of gives you, it's not a triangle really, but it's a straight diagonal line. So I'm debating on where I want to journal, and there's really not a great place unless I did it in the circle, and I certainly didn't want to do that. So I decided I'm just going to kind of write at an angle down underneath where it says sick. And after I get started, I decide I hate that I've done that. I didn't like it. It looks weird. It kind of goes up a little bit, and I think part of it's because the bottom is warped from where it was wet, and it'll flatten out later. But, so I just finished journaling because I've already done it. I think if I had gone straight across all the way, it would have been fine. I don't know. Anyway, I wasn't happy. So then I get this aqua pin out that matches the aqua, that little embellishment over there in the left corner. And I trace like the squiggly line. And then I think, okay, now I don't even like that either. So I decide to add to my title, and instead of just being homesick, I add with these black Stickabilities alphas, I add from school today, and it fills in that space, and I'm much happier. In the future, I would have written the journaling either all the way around the picture or right above where it says homesick. I would have done a small journaling right there inside that circle. That would have been better, but that's okay. Like I have said plenty of times before, I am a professional boo-boo fixer because I'm a professional boo-boo maker. And there's a smidge of a smear in my, that's interesting wording, in my journaling, but it is still very legible, and I'm fine with that. So, if it looked perfectly fabulous and there was no boo-boos to be seen, then you would not have any proof it was my layout. So to finish off and do the little clusters of 3, I took the Rosewater Nuvo and put dots around. And that is it with my layout. I really, really love how this turned out. I love the Nuvo circle. I'm going to show you some up close in these clusters. Please, please, please go down below in the description box and follow along with this hop, all of the amazing crafters that are creating their version of these sketches. It's just amazing to see how different they can be. So I hope you all will join us, and I hope you all come back, and I hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love. Happy scrapping!